there, friends. It's Jackie Ballheis from Stampin Stampers. Today, I have a beautiful card to share with you using the Cottage Rose stamp set. Got a few other products. I wouldn't call this a quick and easy card. Actually, all my cards are easy and they're all pretty quick. This one might just take a little bit longer because it's not just a sip card, but I think it's really beautiful. Now, this card I actually designed for a team event. A while back, we did a virtual online event for members of the Stampin Stampers, and they had to qualify and they got a make and take packet, and then we hopped on Zoom and they got to make this card along with me. So if you're a part of my team and you're watching this video, you either participated and saw it, or maybe you didn't attend the event, so now you get to see one of the projects that we shared. So I hope you catch all of my tips I have on this card. I think I have some fun tips to share with you that applies not only to this card, but card making in general. And then if you want to find all the details on this card, you can hop over to my blog post. There will be a link in the video description to take you there. And on that blog post, I will have details that will have a picture of the card, all the measurements, because there's quite a few parts and pieces to this one. So you can catch all the measurements over there along with all the supplies. And then if you'd like to order any of these products, you certainly can do that while you're there. And then just a quick reminder, I mentioned my demonstrator team. If you ever thought about getting the best possible deal on your stamps, you might want to look at becoming a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. There's no obligation or commitment. You don't have to do what I do. Most of my team are hobby stampers, and they come along for just the fun, like when we do virtual stamping events, and to get that great discount. So make sure you reach out to me if you'd like more information on that. But I don't want to sit here and chit chat. I want to stamp and show you this card. So let's flip this camera down and get to it. Okay, here's a quick peek at that stamp set, and I think some of you might recognize it because I used it just a couple weeks ago when I shared my fun folds with you. So there is a tutorial that if you place a $50 order this month, you're going to get the step-by-step instructions for these 4 cards, all of which are also fun folds. And we're actually using all the exact same products on this one. Same colors, same paper, same everything. So it's just another idea that you can do with this stamp set. Now, like I mentioned, this was a project that I actually did with my team. We, every once in a while, we do these team virtual stamping events that team members get invited to. Sometimes they even get the make and take packets. This was one that I sent them these packets so they could make the card right along with me. We made 4 cards that night, and it was so fun. Now, so I'm sharing the same card with you all. So here we have the larger floral image that I stamped on scrap paper, and then we're going to color it with our Stampin Blends. Make sure you're using Memento ink when you stamp with your blends. It won't bleed. And then I always like to start with my light first and then my dark. No right or wrong way when you use Stampin Blends. And with this big flower, I also don't color it super solid. I let a little bit of white peek through. I think it looks nice with this flower. And then we're going to take the dark, and I'm just using all those shade lines that Stampin' Up! So graciously put in there for us, and just kind of scribbling on them, okay? Now, alcohol markers are designed to be super duper artsy for those of you that like to get real fancy and artistic, but they also work great for quick and easy coloring, like you can see me using them here. Let's go ahead and we're just going to kind of smear a little bit more of that light on there so we get a whole bunch of different shades going in our flower and make it look more like it would out in nature. And then I'm actually just going to make a whole bunch of parts and pieces here for our card. Let's snap these back on. This card, like I said, it's not hard. It just has a little bit more to it than what you normally see me doing. And by that, I mean more parts and pieces. So we're going to do all our parts and pieces, and then I'm going to give you some tips for how you put a card together when you have lots of parts and pieces like this one. So let's just get this colored. We're almost done there. I use the light, and the same thing. I'm just bringing that dark in and just doing some lines down the middle. I think it just gives your leaves a little bit more dimension and, you know, not look so flat. Let's just kind of scribble the light color in there. Easy peasy. There we go. Make sure with your blends you snap them on there. And then, as we're making all these parts and pieces, I've got the coordinating die for this one. So I'm going to go ahead, take that to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and cut it out, and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. So we can set that aside. So there's a part and piece. And then I used another die just to cut out these leaves from soft seafoam. So we have those parts and pieces. Then let's use a piece of basic white here. And we're going to come back to that large floral image. And I'm going to use it to stamp a background here. So notice how I kind of turned it so we've got flowers going in different directions. But it's just going to be a background on that piece. Oh, we still need this, so let's leave it out. So there's a part and piece. Now we need our greeting. So I have a petal pink here, scrap, and I'm going to just stamp my happy birthday right down there along the edge. I like to do greetings this way where I just use scrap paper and go along the edge, and then afterwards I trim them down to size. That's why a lot of times when you see me list dimensions, you won't see the greeting layer, because I think it's way easier to do it this way than try to cut this little tiny piece and then stamp in the center of it. So there's that piece. Let's see, what other stamping? Oh, we need to stamp the inside. So let's do that. We're just going to use another greeting like so. And where's our leaves? And then we'll use the leaves just in that soft seafoam just to give those a nice little touch like so. I think that's all the parts and pieces for our card. So let me move the stamps and ink so we don't get all messy here, and then we'll put the card together. Now remember, I said this card was not hard. I don't do anything hard. It just has all these pieces. So let's start with this one. That's that inside piece, and we're going to layer it on a piece of basic black. I don't always layer for the inside of my cards, but I thought this one, it just really made it all stand out. I liked what that black did. So put that in the inside. I'm also doing this totally backwards. Usually I do the outside and then the inside. So there we go. So there's the inside of our card. Now for the outside, I have a 1/4-inch strips here. Let's get that folded good. Where's my bone folder? That's popping up on me. I like my edges super crisp and cards to lay flat. There we go. So this is a great way to use up scraps. It's also a good way to add some dimension without using a lot of big, bulky ribbon or layers. But I'm going to just go ahead and stick 2 of these on here. And you'll see what this does to the card. It makes a big difference in the overall design once we get it all together. So there's that. Okay, we are almost all together. Remember this that we stamped? We are going to layer that onto a piece of basic white. Now remember, all of these measurements are over on that blog post. I don't even remember what they are. So make sure you use the link and it'll take you over there and you'll get all the information so that you can make this card as well. Okay, that's kind of our center point or our focal point of our card. And then let's go ahead and add a piece of linen thread wrapped around it. Now, I never measure this. I just kind of, as you saw, I hold it around it to kind of estimate the size. And then I double it, and then I cut it. Okay, let's see. And it's so curly. But I'm going to just go ahead and tie a bow. And I want this way over on the edge over here. So once you tie it, you can usually slide it as well. And I always tie upside down. And then I flip it over and then adjust them. And I like to try to get one of them maybe a little bit shorter than the other so that you can see that there's really 2 loops there. And then we can trim that off. Let's see, let's get that way over there like so. Okay, so there is the layering for what's going to be our focal point. Now this is where I want to show you. Once you add it on here, look at how that just makes everything pop, having it on that those little black strips there. Oop, we gotta get that over there a little more. Versus if we put it right there. So I was really pleased with how that black just really made everything stand out on this one. And then of course we gotta use dimensionals. Wouldn't be a card without tons of dimensionals on it. And we're gonna stick those on there, peel those off, and we almost have this whole card together. Now remember, if you have the stamp set or love the stamp set, I have that tutorial for the 4 other cards available. You can get it free this month if you place a $50 order will automatically send it to you. So you'll have those 4 ideas plus this one to make some cards using it. So let's see, we're gonna just go ahead and let's stick that there. Okay, we're almost done. Happy birthday. Now for our birthday, we need those mini dimensionals, which I have to use my take your pick tool to grab those. And I am gonna put them just out here on the right side so that when I stick it on here, it's gonna lay flat down to that flower image. You can even put a little dab of glue on here if you want. Let's see, let's get that linen twine on. And we're gonna go ahead and just stick that on there like so. Oh, it looks like my dimensional is kind of in the wrong spot. It'll work, right? And then these little pieces, we're gonna just go ahead and take some mini glue dots. They work the best for gluing, you know, little things like this on. And we're gonna just kind of stick them down underneath there. So let's see, where's the other one? So I'm just putting that mini glue dot down towards the bottom. Stick it on there, pick it up, make sure you have the glue dot with it. And then we can stick that one right there. There you go. It really is a quick and easy card. There was just a lot of parts and pieces to it. So there is our birthday card using Cottage Rose. Now remember, the link is in the description. Usually I always say right down there, but it depends on your device. Just find the video description and it'll take you to the blog post that'll have pictures and all the dimensions and a list of supplies, as well as the information for getting the tutorial for those fun folds. If you haven't been following me, you better check out the fun fold template class because I think this was number 6 or 7. We're on a roll. We got a lot more to go. So as always, I'm here to help you with any questions. Make sure to reach out. Let me know how I can help you. So thanks for watching and we'll stamp again real soon. Have a stamp happy day.